Hello guys, my name is Destiny and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and start writing down the view for the messaging functionality here in Django. So without wasting any more time, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up my code editor. I'm going to open up the direct application that we installed from the last video, and I'm going to open up views.py. So from here, the first thing we need to do is import the model that we created and also import some decorators. So I'm going to say from django.contrib.auth.decorators, I want to import login required, and also I want to say from direct.models, let's simply import the message model that we created, and I'm going to get rid of this over here. So after I do this, I also want to import loader. Okay, we're just still going to use render. Let's just stick with render for now. Let's not use loader. So over here, it needs to have a login required decorator, and we simply need to define an inbox, and we're going to pass in a request as usual. Over here, we need to say user should be equal to request.user at first try. Then after this, the next thing is going to be simply calling messages should be equal to message dot get message. Remember the function we created from the last video. User is going to be equal to user, and over here we just need to check for active direct. Active direct should be equal to none. So after this, we also need to check for direct. Take note, I'm not doing anything yet. I'm just defining variables and setting them to like their own values and all that. Now we need to check if there are messages. Now what do we want to do? We actually want to do something more step. And what is it? We are simply gonna say if messages. Now let's say message should be equal to messages, and we're gonna get the first message from the index of 0. So you already know how indexes work in Python, or let's say programming in general. So that's what we're simply doing here. Now we're going to say active direct should be equal to message, and we are getting user, okay, dot username. So this is quite understandable. Then after this, we need to do direct should be equal to message dot object dot filter. Okay, message.object.filter, and we need to say user should be equal to user recipient, not underscore pk, but recipient should be equal to message. We also need to call this user method that we wrote here. We also need to call it here too dot username. Okay, or for now, let's just not stick with the username. Let's just leave it this way. Okay, then we also need to go ahead and update the direct. So we're gonna say direct dot update. Then we are updating is red now to true. Now what is this gonna do? This is simply gonna check if there is a message. Now it's gonna get the message. It's simply gonna get the active direct that the message was sent to, and what it's gonna do over here is get the particular message, and finally it's gonna update is red to true, which means this over here is going to read a message. Okay, hopefully you guys understand what we are doing. If you don't worry, I'm still going to explain things and break it down. Now after this, we need to go ahead and create a very basic for loop. So we're going to say for message and messages, and this one is just simply going to iterate over all the messages that we are getting over here. Okay, so after this, now for message to messages, then we want to check if message in the square bracket we pass in user dot username is equal to active direct. Okay, is equal to active direct. Then we want to simply say messages on red. We just create that on red should be equal to 0. That means there are no on red message. Now after this, we can simply go ahead and pass in a context, and context should be equal to that, and we need to pass in direct. Over here it's gonna be direct, and we need to create this in 4 places. This one is gonna be direct, that one is gonna be direct, this one is gonna be let me put my mouse over here. This one is gonna be messages. This one over here is gonna be active direct. This one is gonna be active direct. And what else do we need? I think that should be it. Okay, now let's simply go ahead and return render. So I'm gonna return return render, and I'm passing request. I'm also gonna pass in direct slash inbox.html. Okay, and take note, we also need to pass in the context. So hopefully you get the gist. Now after doing this, I want to be sure that this is all we need to do for now. After this, let's just go ahead and get the messages, and we're also going to display them. So in order to get messages and display them, we need to create a URL firstly. So we're just going to come over to direct, right click on this. We're going to right click on the direct app just like this, and we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it urls.py. Okay, after that, I think we can just copy from another url.py file like this one. We're going to copy this, paste it here. This is the URL, whatever. We get rid of the parts. We are importing the views from direct.views. Remember, we called it inbox. Now over here, we're going to say views.inbox, and this is going to be inbox. And also this one over here is going to be inbox slash. So with this now, let's make sure we are installing this in the urls.py, the main urls.py. Hopefully you understand. I'm just gonna uncomment this, and I'm gonna say message slash whatever, and this is gonna be direct.urls. Okay, hopefully you guys understand how to route URLs. Now after this, let's see if our terminal is still running, which it won't be. Firstly, let me install the application message in our admin. So I'm gonna say from direct.models, I simply want to import message, and I'm gonna say admin.site.register, and I'm simply registering message. So after this, now we're gonna run make migration and also make migrate. So I'm gonna say make migrations, and okay, we are getting an error. It says no module named direct. Now we need to hop over to settings.py, and we need to install direct over here. I'm simply gonna say direct. Okay, now let's try running that again, and it says unexpected and indent on line 6 models.py. So I'm simply gonna head back to my models.py, and on line 6 it's expected an indent. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, we did the indentation. Let's try running our server again and see if it works. Okay, there is a slash over there, so that isn't gonna work. Let's see. Now it's saying invalid syntax somewhere here. I think there is a comma issue. Here there should be a comma here, so that was it. Now let's try running it again. I'm sorry, there's a couple errors, and it says no module named direct. Okay guys, so to fix the error that says no module named direct, let's head over to our urls igprj, and this is it. This is supposed to be directs and not directs. Okay, now let's run our server again. I'm very sorry, and I really apologize for all the errors that we've been encountering. Maybe I made it. Yes, of course I made a couple of mistakes. Why saying maybe? Now let me go ahead and migrate this, and as you can see, it's migrated successfully. Now I'm gonna run the server again and run server, and okay, I'm gonna open up my admin panel. And as you can see, now we've got this message thing over here. Now when I open up messages and try adding a new message from the back end, user is going to be Destiny, sender is going to be Destiny, recipient is going to be Karen, body is going to be hey Karen, what's good, what's good. Okay, and that should be it. We click on save, it returns a message object. We can also change this message object if we want. Now doing this, as you can see, it works from the back end. How about we want to try doing it from the front end? How is it gonna work? So I'm gonna say this was actually called message slash inbox. Okay, so this is what I actually want to see if we have an error, and as you can see, there is an error from here. Now in order to fix this error, what we want to do is quite easy. Okay, in order to fix this error, let's head back to our code and head back to views.py, and I think we actually want to adjust some of this. Remember, we are running a loop with message, and over here we are using messages. No, that shouldn't be so. So after this, now let's refresh and see. Okay, it's working perfectly well. Now what we need to do is go ahead and create a template for it. Now in our templates file, I'm going to close out media, I'm going to close out post, I'll close out IG directs, PRJ, and I'm going to open up templates. And in templates, I'm going to create a new, let's just create a new folder. I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call this the directs. Okay, now in the directs folder, I'm going to create a new file, and guess what, we're going to call it inbox.html. okay, now back to the views.py. Make sure that over here you are adding directs/inbox.html. now after this, when you refresh, what do you see? You see a blank page. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and create a template for our message, like a template where we're gonna see messages and all that kind of stuff. And I think I already have it built out in this video, so you don't have to bother yourself doing it again from scratch. Now let me just go ahead and grab the templates. Okay guys, so I grabbed the template already and I just placed it in here. You're gonna have all this from the link in the description. Check out my GitHub, it's gonna be there for you. Now take note, this is gonna look really nice because I didn't actually focus on the styling. As you can see, this is just a very basic styling that I did over here, and actually focused more on the functionality than the styling. If you're good in CSS and HTML and all that, just go ahead and style it up and make it look really amazing. So now let's go ahead and refresh, and we're gonna get an error. It says the view directs didn't return a HTTP response, you return the none instead. So whenever you get such error, just know that your return render isn't actually pointing to the right place. So we need to copy this and take it one step back. Now when we refresh this, as you can see, it works fine, but it says a reverse for profile with arguments not found, tried, username, blah blah blah. Okay, actually, what should this error be? Okay guys, so the error that we got was just removing one of the URLs that I don't already have. So I don't already have the URL created. I want to show you guys how to do that. So I just went ahead and removed it. That's why this is showing right now. So this is what we've got by default. All this here are just static, nothing is loading dynamically. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and set things up. Firstly, let's display all the whole message that we've got over here. And this is simply going to be displaying a message through a for loop. Now I think this is it over here. This is the div that contains it. How about I just get rid of this? Is everything still gonna work? Okay, as you can see, that went out. Now this is it. So I need to run a for loop over here, and I need to say for message in messages. So for message in messages, just like that. And I also need to end for over here. I need to say end for. Now the first thing I need is actually go to the direct of the user, but right now I don't already have it, so I'm just gonna leave this link empty. But there is something I want to show you guys over here. You won't see anything, but we want to actually make the latest message that is on red to be in a like a blue background, something like that, and the red one to be in gray background. So that's why I use this line of code over here. It's gonna check if active direct is equal to message.user.messagename.username. So like if the latest message is equal to message.username, then it's simply gonna make this active. So I can as well get rid of this code over here. Then I'm gonna show you guys how everything works. Okay, now after we do this, the next thing we need to do is come over here and work with the image source. So as you can see, this is the default image that we are getting now, but we actually need to get this image dynamically. We need to say message.user.profile.picture, or is it called image.url? Let's see what it's called. In the user auth, open up your models.py, and as you can see, it's called image. Okay, now we say the URL. Okay, after this, let's see, nothing is showing up yet. We don't have any message. I want to quickly add a message. You remember we added a message from the last time, but I just deleted it because I was trying to check out some things. And I'm gonna say hello, it's a new message. I'm gonna hit save. Let's see if it's actually showing up. Boom, you can see it's showing up, and it's automatically detecting that it's not me, that is it's Karen that's sending this message. Let's see. Okay, that's a recipient as Karen. Don't worry, we're still gonna go ahead and fix out everything. But right now it's getting my default name. I don't want this. I actually want it to dynamically get a name. So I need to say message.user.profile.first underscore name, and Karen, as you can see, it's working well. And we also need to dynamically get another name, which is gonna be the last name, Karen Balder. And we also need to dynamically get the username. So we're gonna say message.user.username, and as you can see, we've got .Karen. Okay, so this is looking really nice. And how about we create a new one, and let's say the user is gonna be, this time around, let's say Rex, or let's say the user of this one is gonna be Karen, the sender is gonna be Karen, and the recipient is gonna be Destiny. I'm gonna say hey there, and I'm simply gonna save this, come over here and refresh. Okay, we won't get anything. That's because this message right now is for someone else. But if we say Destiny, and we say Destiny is sending the message to, and we say hey there, and we click on save. Okay, now as you can see, Destiny is getting this message. So hopefully you guys understand what's going on. Don't worry, I'm still gonna explain everything. But right now we are getting two messages, and they are in the blue div. I actually want the latest message to have just the blue one, and the one that's below shouldn't have anything. Okay, now that's where the code that I showed you guys earlier over here for the active comes to play. Now we need to simply, I just went up a whole lot of, okay, now we need to simply check if active underscore direct is equal to message.user.username, just like that. So if this is actually working, then I want to pass in active over here, and I'm simply gonna end if. What do you notice? This is the latest message. Okay, so if for any reason I come over here, open up this message, and I change this to save. Okay, let me try adding a new message. Let's just see how everything works. Destiny, Karen, Destiny, blah blah blah, save, refresh. Okay, I think I actually made a mistake there, and that should be Destiny. Then I refresh. Oh, it will be added to this one. It will be embedded to this one, so nothing is going to show up. And if you send Karen, it's going to be embedded to this one. So for now you won't see any physical changes, but let's just go ahead and keep working. Now I want to also I think for now I've actually showed the messages here. How about showing the messages here? What do we need to do for that? That's gonna be kind of steep for us just for now, but I think we need to still go ahead and do something for that. So in the direct section, this should be the direct section over here. I want to get rid of this, and I want to refresh. Okay, it's gone. How I'll say message.write, I just want to see something. Okay, see, it's at the right now. Okay, that's what I wanted. So I'm simply gonna run a for loop over here. I'm gonna say for direct in direct, and over here I'm gonna end it off by saying end form. Okay, right now we can see two messages, so it's working perfectly well. We can see two messages, but don't worry, I'm still gonna fix things up. So the message that we are getting from the other user is going to be here, then the one we are sending is going to be here. Okay, now after we've done this, what we need to do is simply go ahead and also call the images dynamically. Hopefully you understand. So I'm going to say direct dot user dot profile dot image dot URL. What do you notice? That's what we have over there. Okay, now we also need to get the dates dynamically also. So this is the dates. I also need to get the dates. I'm gonna say direct dot dates, just like that. And you see we can, okay, I can't see any date showing up. Directs rather, not directs. Okay, as you can see, this is the date, and this is looking really not good. Can I just change this color over here to black? Let's say, Okay, that's way better, but this design is just so awful. Now I want to filter the date. I just want to show March 29, 2022. Take note, we're also going to work with natural human time, so that we see something like 2 minutes ago and 10 minutes ago, something like that. But I want to filter by day, by month, and by year. Okay, now when we refresh 29th March 2022, hello there, hello there. Now let's change the hello there thing. We need to come over here and simply say direct dot body, if you remembered. Now we can see hey there and VVVWEE that were created from the back end. Okay, that's kind of amazing for now. Now let's create a function that's gonna okay, how about I try adding a message that the recipient is gonna be, that the sender is gonna be Destiny. Okay, I want the sender to be Karen, I want the user to be Karen, and I want the recipient to be Destiny. Okay, and I want to say something like 1 2 3. Okay, for now that's not giving me any physical effects. It's not actually showing me what I wanted, but hopefully you guys get the gist of what's going on. This is the message that I'm sending, so it should be somewhere here, right? Now let's go ahead and fix that. So after running the for loop, we need to simply say, so what we need to say is if direct dot sender is equal to request dot user. So if the sender of this message is equal to us that we are logged in, then we want to display this message at the right. How about if the person that is sending the message is our friend, they want to display their own message by the left. Okay, so it's simply going to be in here, and it needs an end if. Okay, it needs an end if. And take note, all this stuff can as well be indented. This one can be indented, so everything looks way better for now. And this is going to be left. So when we refresh this now, all the messages will be here. Okay, hopefully you guys understand everything that's going on, and you know, we actually made some progress so far. We can now display the messages by the side over here. We can also display the directs in here. In the next video, we're gonna go ahead and like get a message of a user when we click on the direct. So when we click on Karen Balder, we want to get her own messages. When we click on Destiny, we want to get his own messages. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. I don't want to make it really long so I don't bore you guys out. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and work with what I just told you a few seconds ago, and it's really going to be amazing. I hope you guys are going to drop a like, consider subscribing. It really helps me and my channel grow, and I'll see you guys in the next video. For now, my love, peace out.